Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, well under 20. That's how I do my keto. And you do your keto the way that it works for you. And I think that the part that I understand even more clearly is that what works for you works for you. You know, I watch people that do keto, and they have 3 meals a day and it works for them. I watch people that do keto that have 2 meals a day and a fatty coffee, and that works for them. And then Miss Joyce and I are people in the camp of doing 2 fatty coffees each day, and then followed by the OMAD. My OMAD is between 2:30 and 3:30, and it works for me. How did I get there? I got there because I paid attention to my body, to what was working, how I was feeling, how things were handled inside of me, my mood, my cravings and triggers and things that I used to be ruled by. And I know that as a recovering food addict, I always feel a bite away from a binge. And I know that sounds strange because a lot of you look at me as the person that never makes a mistake or something like that, but that's not true at all. You know, I am just as flawed as the next person. And I just care about the food, and I totally believe from my insides out that if my food is in order, my tracker is in order, my fridge matches, the ingredients in my day, the food items in my day, if they're in the fridge, I'm happy. I rarely shop for something I have later on in the day that day. Usually I'm a couple of days out, and that is what ends up working for me. It just does. And that gives me a serenity that because I'm a recovering food addict, it just happens that way. There's just a calmness about it. And that's why, if you were a client of mine or are a client of mine, you are always encouraged to put your food in the night before, because I feel that I'm just sharing what works for me because my experience is anecdotal. It's what has worked for me as I've gone along. I don't start somebody off and tell them, how much of something. I do suggestions, and then they find what works for them. A lot of them have almost equal protein and fats, and I encourage them to keep the carbs very low. And even though I'm known as keto under 20 total carbs, most of my clients do less, a whole lot less. A few of them do no vegetables whatsoever. And then, like myself, I have just my 50 grams of baby butter lettuce when available. And I went to 3 stores yesterday to purchase it. And I ended up buying baby butter lettuce that's not organic. That was it. I mean, this gets crazy after 3 stores to find baby butter organic lettuce. Crazy. Tomorrow's my big shopping day. So hopefully that market that I go to will have it. And if not, I make the rounds again. And I won't need it until Monday at that point, because I have enough for the last 2 days of my week's worth of salads. So I've been listening to some interesting people. I always do. It's funny. Somebody suggested in my comments to listen to Dr. Boz, B-O-Z. And then one of my clients said, hey, have you seen this video of hers? How ketosis came about with Navy SEALs and things like that. And then the ketosis kids, and I hadn't heard of them before either. And how she got to study their brains after they passed. Just very interesting people. You can learn a lot from Dr. Boz. She's very user-friendly. No big words if you're like me and you like things nice and simple and just encouraging to continue on with your keto journey, no matter what it is. And it's funny because one of my first clients, I I would push veggies on her, and she says, I don't really like veggies. And it's like, well, you're supposed to have them. And now, I'm apologizing to her. She was a vegan for a number of years, and then became keto. So I always get a tickle when somebody is a vegan and then they turn to the meat, and it must be because maybe they ate it before, but they've missed it. And it doesn't mean that you have slabs of beef. I have a client that has chicken and turkey a lot, and that satiates her. It's just funny. And I made Greg some organic chicken thighs the other night, and I've just got this, I don't think I'd call it as strong as an aversion, but I peeled off the skin, ate that, and then ate one bite of the thigh and gave it to Greg. And it's just, and he doesn't want pork anymore. So when I have my pork chop sauteed in coconut oil, he doesn't have it. And so it's also interesting how things happen. So I just can't get used to chicken, even though I loved those 2 chicken Cobb salads that I had. But now I'm thinking I will do the pulled pork in its place. Or maybe I could even do shredded beef in that place. But I seem to be a beef girl. And I am attracted to videos where people just speak the truth. They talk about their journey, how they got to where they got. Because, it's very interesting because a lot of us, we don't do the same thing we did day one with keto. And we kind of go along, and most carnivores do not start at vegan and then become meat eaters. K8, capital K8, Kate, does carnivore now. And she's a delight to listen to. She's very spunky. She's kind of like Allie McWowie, where she's just, this young, vibrant woman. And she gets excited about how she eats. And her boyfriend, her partner, did carnivore for a month, but then he had to travel, so it became kind of hard for him to do it. And his psoriasis just melted off of it. She showed a picture of the back of his legs. And I know that Mike in Keto Mad, when he went carnivore, I know that he had calluses on his heels or somewhere on his feet that just disappeared with doing carnivore with no dairy. I don't know. I saw a grocery haul where there was some dairy in it, heavy whipping cream and sour cream and cream cheese and a block of cheese. So I'm not sure if he's allowed it back in his life and the calluses came back and he can live with them, because I think I heard him say that he'd rather have the calluses and the dairy than no dairy, no calluses. And I understand that. I have my heavy whipping cream, my butter, and my ghee in my coffee combos. And I'm not giving those up for now. Today, I'm having, somebody listened to me yesterday and they said, I have to listen to you after I have my OMAD because I listened to you before and you made it sound so good. Today, I'm having a filet mignon that's already been smoked in the big green egg, but now I have to warm it up in butter on top of the stove in my copper pan. And I'm not sure what it weighs. I put in 7 ounces. I buy 2 fillets under a pound, and Greg gets the bigger one. So then I weigh the smaller one and whatever it weighs, I'll have. And then 50 grams of baby butter lettuce, some of them with GMOs in them, and my good culture cottage cheese and my 2 tablespoons of oil. And it's the lowest meal of my week, but it is satiating. And I do pour the butter after I've warmed up the fillets on top of the stove. I do put the butter over the fillet to have it. So these are my macros for the day. 1,215 calories. My protein is 70, which is probably the highest of the week. My carbs are 3.2, and my fats are 103. And that is a perfect meal for me. I could probably have that every day of the week, but the filet I buy is $19 a pound, so maybe not. I do know that this week at Whole Foods, they have sirloin tips on sale, so I might pick up a pound of them and integrate that into the week. Yesterday, I made a 2-egg quiche. I had planned it as an omelet, and then I said I'm going to put it into the little cassoulets that I have and made it into a quiche with goat milk, pepper jack cheese, and organic Valley cream cheese, and the organic sweet Italian sausage from Whole Foods, and some Applegate uncured Genoa salami. It was delicious. Had that with my small salad. So, as you do your keto, pay attention to how you feel. Your food plan could be totally, totally different than mine or other people's. Other people can handle more veggies. Other people can handle fruits in season. Other people can keto-fy and handle that. Other people can do some processed keto products that are on the market. They aren't triggered by it. It aids them. I see it. I see it with my clients when I peek into their chronometer. And so I see what they have. I also see what Tammy, Keto and the Chaos, has. She is a breakfast and dinner person, 2 meals a day. And her breakfasts always look good. Her dinners look good. She's got a husband that cooks. And this flyaway thing, okay, just so you know, I've worked on it before I came on to the camera. Anyway, luxury problem, right? Oh my God, my hair has a flyaway. Can you imagine? So I love to hear how you eat, your keto, your carnivore, your part-time carnivore. It all works. And the people that do carnivore, I have so much respect for them because they feel so much better. They don't worry about it. There's a calmness about them. And in one of Kate's, K8, in one of her videos, she shows her porterhouse that she has, and they have she lives in Australia, so they got a part of a beef and it's in their freezer. She showed a porterhouse that she was having with this like 3 tablespoons of butter on top of it for breakfast. It looked so good. She was grilling it. I love that. And, there are times that I feel like a second meal would do me well, but then I love the OMAD. I just love sitting down to that meal at 2:30. So I enjoy my 2 butter, heavy whipping cream coffees leading to it. Although there are times that, after watching Tammy, it's like, oh, I want her breakfast. Can't I just have that? But anyway, so for me, it's shaving my veggies, upping my protein, being happy with where I am, understanding contentment, feeling my gut and my digestion. How does everything work? Is it time for another tweak? If it is, oh well. I weighed myself this morning. I gained a half a pound. I just have this range. And I gained that half a pound, and now it's in my little green book that I've kept for like the last 5 years. And then I put it in my chronometer so I can see every day. It doesn't mean scary things that I have to go on a diet. Maybe Weight Watchers will work. I don't know. It's just my body. And I don't eat crazy things, and they're all tracked and weighed. So I know that even when I get woo-hoo, there it goes, you're going to lose everything. I knew you would. I have to bring myself back and say, I'm doing what I'm doing consistently as a turtle every day of the week. And so little girly has to calm down and exhale when I step on the scale. Why weigh all that air, right? So I will see you the next time here. And it's quite the fun ride, isn't it? Aren't you glad you're here? Aren't you glad you're doing this for yourself? Even when you get frustrated and impatient and impetuous and like you should get there sooner, when you take that step back, you say, you know what? We're all doing this. We're all turtles. It works. It works better than any other thing I've ever tried. And I know that probably a lot of you feel the same way too. So I will see you the next time here at Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.